We have to finish today, okay? I'm done listening. Just finish it all. You promised.
Yeah. Whatever you said.
So, you were trudging back home from the wreckage.
Yeah.
So, what
Yes.
happens next?
I was walking for hours. Trudging, well, limping if we're being honest, along the wet and muddy bank of the river. Damn it, my ankle hurts a ton. Eventually, I found a way back to my cabin, which was a miracle, and when I arrived, I saw that Ellie was asleep, because it was quite dark, so I screamed into my pillow instead of out into the garden. I fell asleep pretty soon after, though, and even though it was probably about 6 to 7 hours, it felt like 2 because I was woken up to...
Wake up!
Yeah, I'm up.
People are here for you, but it's not Lev. What do you think he did?
Not wanting her to know I was probably going to be ruthlessly punished, maybe even executed, I lied, exclaiming, I don't know.
Well, stay safe.
I will. Thank you. She smiled and we gazed into each other's eyes for a bit. I don't know if she would have kissed me, but it's what I tell myself would have happened. But just as I was about to leave my bedroom, she whispered,
Oh, and by the way, I'll play the other tape when you get back.
I nodded. Okay. I wandered outside to see 2 big guys standing by the truck. I believe their names were Grant and Grunt.
MatJam02, we're here to take you in.
Because I didn't know their names yet, I was fearing it was the scratch team, so I asked, to who?
Ark Star, obviously.
One of them blindfolded me to my surprise, while the other grabbed me by the collar and hurled me into the truck, all before I could get out the words, I know where we're going! To the other's dismay.
Don't care.
Didn't ask.
They acted like a comedy double act. But, despite that, that moment wins the prize for the longest amount of time I've ever been blindfolded for.
Neat.
What?
Well, blindfolds can be mental, can't they? Hiding a persona.
I guess, but I'm talking about physical blindfolds here.
Ahem.
Anyway, it was finally pulled off when I was sitting in Ark Star's office. In front of me was Ark Star with a sharp, serrated blade dancing on Lev's throat. One slice in the cut would be so deep his death would be almost instantaneous.
You failed.
We know.
I'd never seen him this unhinged before, this contorted.
You dare disappoint me, you pitiful excuse for an underling.
I'm sorry.
Do not interrupt me! Your pitiful existence will be snuffed out in a display of unimaginable cruelty. I will revel in your suffering, relishing every scream that tears from your wretched throat.
A tear was coming from my eye. I genuinely thought he was going to kill me.
Your demise will be a symphony of agony. Prepare to dance with the devil himself as I dismantle your existence, piece by piece.
Okay.
I blame Lev almost entirely. But you, my apprentice, are also in the wrong. You should have freaking stopped him!
Please don't hurt me.
I won't.
I'd never seen Lev cry before. He looked thoroughly sorry.
What about me?
He turned to Lev and tickled the blade downwards towards an artery.
You're going to be demoted for this. Now go.
Yes, sir.
Lev scurried off within seconds and Ark Star nodded.
MatJam, I'm booking you in for more intense training sessions. The big mission will be coming up soon.
I nodded before tramping over to the door, wanting to leave as quickly as I could.
Oh, and if you want to be forgiven, there's something you have to do.
He threw over a flyer, which I caught and read. Sebastian's funeral.
You have a mission there.
I didn't say it out loud because I'd already pissed him off enough, but the concept of that alone was messed up. Sometimes later, I found myself at Sebastian's funeral. It was being held by his mane. I had no idea why it was so late, but I assume there's probably a reason. And that was explained as soon as the eulogy began.
If you're unaware, Sebastian was on life support for the past 7 or so months, and he flatlined just last week, so it feels like I lost him twice.
But unfortunately, I was there for a mission, so I turned to my right to see my target. My own brother, MatJam02. Hello, MatJam. I see you have some new armor. Red. Nice choice. I see you do too. Yellow. Shooter was wearing an almost identical armor suit to mine, but yellow, and I assume he got it from Sebastian. I was gonna come after you, but I heard some rumors about what you've done, and part of me after hearing that didn't even want to find you, you sick crap sack. And he was right. Sebastian wanted me to give this to you. He was conscious, in and out of it. I was by his side for a bit. He was still my friend after all. Shooter handed me the strawberry brooch I'd lost during my void period. How? He must have picked it up. Shooter pointed at his own chest and I saw the B brooch, which had soldered onto his own armor. Thank you. I see you used some of my tech for a mission and even branded it too. I'm sorry. Don't be. I've been up to some things too, but it'd have been a bit more fun with you, I assume. A tear ran down my face. I knew what I had to do, what Ark Star wanted me to do, but I didn't want to be responsible for it, so I quickly whispered over to him, "Get out of here now." Why? I'm on a mission for your location. What? What's the mission? And why me? It wasn't my idea. It was Ark Star's.
Everyone remain quiet!
Ark Star wanted me to pin everything on Shooter in preparation for the big job. What the frick? But two armed scratch agents burst into the area, darted for Shooter. They grabbed him and hassled him up, making sure he couldn't run. He watched on at me in disgust.
MatJam02, you are under arrest for the hijacking of a scratch-authorized cargo aerial shipment.
Once again, I whispered to him, "I'm sorry."
Alright, let's get moving!
And they hauled him out as he stared at me. I'm so frickin' sorry, Shooter. But I decided to stay for the rest of the funeral. It's the least I could do.
He really meant everything to me, and his absence will be felt throughout the Elk community and throughout the Scratch community as a whole.
And I soldered on the brooch Shooter had given me. But I continued training, harder than ever. Ark Star was prepping me for the big job.
It's all for the matter of making you advance. You'll have everything you've ever wanted soon enough.
But I had to ask, why did you choose to have
To go?
Yes. How did you...
I imagined you'd ask. After all, you still have a little love for him, don't you? He's your brother, after all.
So?
Well, there are two reasons. Reason A, there was photo evidence of someone resembling your description on the plane security feed. So, who better than Tudor?
I mean, I guess, but I could have taken the fall.
Reason B, he knows about me. He was Viper.
What?
I contacted him about participating in the Deadland, and he said no. But he wanted the opportunity to take you, so we struck a deal.
Which was?
He could kill you in there, as long as you weren't the last one left.
Right then, in that moment, it all made sense.
And since you won, I allowed him to go.
Okay, yes, but why couldn't I have taken the fall?
Are you referring to reason A?
Yes. Yes, sir, I am.
Because soon, my child, CALYPSO will rise out of the shadows, and I can claim what should be mine. And when that happens, it will truly be known throughout history as the Scratch Revolution.
I don't know what that was or what he was referring to, and still don't. But right then and there, I asked, which will entail...
You're one of my best active serving agents, so you'll be brought into the conversation soon, after the big job.
Him constantly bringing it up in conversation worried me, as its impending arrival seemed to excite him. Can you explain what it is?
Not yet, but in short, it's just a proliferation of what you've already done.
So why was he picking it up?
You'll find out soon. But at the end of the day, I was taken home, and on the way back in the truck, I did some thinking, and I took a step back from my life and just observed what it had become. I never asked for this. It was thrust upon me, an accidental dance with darkness I never intended to join. The lies, the deceit, the constant fear of discovery, it all suffocated me. But I yearned to break free from the clutches of that nefarious existence, to find solace in the embrace of normalcy. Each passing day I questioned my purpose, my choices, and the irreversible path I tread. How did I become that monster? But I couldn't make the decision just yet.
You're back early? But good. I can show the second tape.
It's what?
It's worse.
And we listened to it.
He killed him! He was my brother! My brother! How could they take him away from me? He was full of life, full of passion and dreams, and they snuffed it out like he was nothing! I can't breathe. I can't... I'll never hear his laughter again. I will never see his smile. I can't... I will make him pay, Ark Star. I will make him...
Who is this?
No idea. Would Lev know?
He's out of the picture at the moment. I felt I had to come clean to Ellie about my recent thoughts. Ellie?
Yeah?
I want to leave this whole thing. She shook her head.
He's not gonna let you. The money's good too, keeping us stable.
But what I've done for it.
But
what? The money?
no!
Of course you're talking about the money, the follows, the loves, the favorites, everything. I had to kill kids to get some of that.
I'm fine as long as I'm with...
Looking back on it, I was hoping she was about to say, I'm fine as long as I'm with you, but who knows at this point. It's keeping us stable, I know, and I'll have a think about it, but just...
MatJam, I love...
And not bothering to listen, I left to get some fresh air. Luckily, I was called back in pretty quickly.
The boss wants you.
Right now.
I arrived back at base pretty quickly too, and it was getting late, so I wanted to find Ark Star as quickly as possible, so I could go home and ultimately apologize to Eliza and to consolidate my thoughts. So I asked Grant and Grunt where he was, and they immediately pointed across the room at his office door.
He's over there, mate.
Right there.
I saw Ark Star gesturing for me to come into his office, but he didn't say anything. I walked inside as instructed, and he closed the door behind me. Ark Star went back to his seat and remained silent. I walked towards my seat, sat down, and waited for his response. He didn't say anything for a minute, and I started to wonder if this was his idea of a joke. And then finally...
I believe you're wondering why I've called you into my office.
What? Well, you were just standing there, just thinking.
And I was. I just needed to think about how to say this correctly.
Okay.
So, the reason why I've called you in here without anyone else is because of this.
He handed me a folder containing a detailed mission plan. I started to believe that this was going to be another mission that he wanted to give me on my own, alone. But that went unexpectedly.
I've seen that you're capable in many things, MatJam. I couldn't sit here and say that what you did in Sleeper's Men was quite impressive.
So what is this?
A mission. A special mission.
Ark Star gestured for me to open the folder, and I did. It was an assassination mission, just like the usual ones. I scanned through the file to see if there was anything special about it, but one thing caught me off guard.
I think you may have heard about this agent before.
It was one letter and two numbers meshed into one word. An A, a 5, and upon closer inspection, a 1-1 was also visible. And that's when I realized, A511.
Find that agent. Kill them.
And
all your dreams will become reality. This is something more valuable than you could ever think of.
do I get double the pay rise? Ark Star grinned and chuckled.
Not double the payment, but double what you've earned here at CALYPSO so far. And your spot as lead sleepers man.
At this point, I thought he was kidding, but he meant what he said. The mission might change my life. For better or for worse. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I know this is the big mission, but I don't know if I'm your guy for this at the moment. I'm going through some things and just... Could it be Lev or Leanna or anyone else?
No. It has to be you.
Alright.
Excellent.
And, like it was urgent, we set off pretty quickly. And we arrived pretty quickly too, hovering over a dirty alleyway, and I knew we were there because the pilot rudely interrupted my contemplation by shouting,
Well, you're where you need to be.
"Okay?"
Well, what are you waiting for? Jump, you moron!
So I did. And as I fell low, was he the same pilot that took me to the Void fight? And landed in a dirty, vandalized alleyway. Ugh! If there was anywhere to kill someone, this is it. The blood would blend in with the paint too well for this to be a coincidence.
You've landed?
Yes, sir. What? Hello, sir? And I unclipped my blaster from my belt and held it out. 8511, are you there? And a blast hit me from the back, knocking me to the ground. I immediately veered myself around to see my assailant. All I saw were two glowing amber eyes staring down at me. The eyes alone were already enough to give me straight-up goosebumps. Greetings, A511. Believing this to yet be another straightforward target, I remained situated as my quippy self, but then... The second I stood up to go in for the kill, she swooped towards me, hooking me in the jaw.
Who are you?
I dodged her next attack.
Who are you?
Spitting a bit of blood from her first jab, I said, "He said you deserve to die, and that's apparently enough for me." And the brawl went on. Early on in the fight, due to her flying ability, she managed to gain the high ground, both physically and in a fighting sense. Amongst everyone I'd ever fought so far, she was one of the best. But that didn't matter, and all that did was the kill. 8511 scarred me in the arm with the weapon she held, which was too hard to make out due to the lighting of the alleyway. I could feel the blood starting to leak out. The scar was really deep.
Stand down.
My sword and blaster was starting to rub against my palms, so I decided that to excel in this fight, I had to ditch them. And it definitely helped. For the most part. After I threw out some punches, she started to recognize my fighting technique, so she also followed suit. One punch from her felt like a brick hitting my bare skin, only I was covered by armor. I tried throwing the hardest jabs, crosses, and hooks I could punch, but it all just went so fast. And I was knocked unconscious momentarily. And after I regained a bit of consciousness after a few seconds, I was on the floor, my arm twisted. It all went so fast I wasn't able to make out all the details.
Do you know what could have happened? Like a guess?
If I were to think of anything, I'd have to guess that she may have countered me by grabbing my punching arm and throwing me across the alleyway. Then again, I can't really remember.
It's over.
I felt my whole body hurting like hell. There were scars on my hand, my arms. I looked up and saw her approaching closely with her weapon. I managed to finally make out what it was. A scythe.
You're CALYPSO, aren't you? I knew Ark Star would send someone after me.
And she rapidly approached me, ready to kill me in one strike.
You die today, boy.
And as she raised her scythe above me, my life flashed behind my eyes.
He really went
We'll
everything
see
for
how
me.
smoothly. I need my money's worth.
Thanks.
I need
Hello?
you to join.
They're coming!
You didn't even want to
So back away,
I have
buddy,
no
and
idea.
go
It's a
talk to
tape.
your other...
Help me explain this to
Hello. It's over there.
An uprising?
Where have you
You
been?
want to
Ark Star.
notice?
I'm fine, as long as I'm with...
I've seen it all before.
and I snapped back with the fury of 1,000 scratches. And as she threw down her scythe, I grabbed her by the handle near the blade in the nick of time. She kept using all her force to force it down on me, but I moved out the way, just seconds away from losing my life. And just like that, I gained the upper hand. And now on an equal edge, we managed to tire each other out. And I didn't know how long it would been going on for, but I knew it was quite a damn while. It was clear now that it wasn't going to get us anywhere, and I think A511 was already pissed off at me. As I struggled to catch my breath, I endeavored to stay alert, anticipating her next action. However, all I witnessed was her standing motionless, her gaze fixed upon me, while she inhaled and exhaled steadily, appearing composed. I, on the other hand, found myself immobilized, unable to even twitch a muscle, exhausted. I eventually succumbed and collapsed to the floor.
Do you even want me dead or not?
At that point, I didn't know anymore. I have to kill you. I need to.
Do you even want me dead or not?
I
thought so.
I was too tired to be angry, but A511 grabbed my hand and tried to help me up. I was completely exhausted, but I still needed to know more, even if we didn't have to fight. A511, who the goddamn are you?
Asher. My name's Asher.
Okay, Asher. Why does Ark Star want you dead?
I ran away. Simple as that.
Your ex CALYPSO?
I suppose that's appropriate. Yes.
And then something in my mind clicked. You! Asher, you recorded the tapes. And just like that...
They still exist?
I destroyed them. I destroyed them all as instructed.
Meaning Ark Star listened to them.
I don't know. Maybe he did?
Crap.
I saw her getting more agitated, presumably from the fact that Ark Star is searching for her. Maybe not for revenge.
Who are you?
My name is MatJam. Asher held up her hand, stopping me right there. My name was not relevant to her, just my service.
No. How long have you been enlisted?
About 7 months, maybe a few more.
And why? Why did you enlist yourself?
I picked up the phone. I was certain she could see the guilt in my eyes, and that was half-heartedly confirmed when she exclaimed,
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you turn out just like me.
Dripping with sweat, I wiped away a couple drops of blood and said, Maybe I already am.
Well, it's going to be a lot harder to leave now.
Ugh. No kidding. Nobody's keen on that decision. Not Ark Star, not Ellie, not Lev.
Lev's still there.
You knew him?
Yeah, never mind. I knew Bex. How's she doing? Did she win?
No. She was in my round, so... she's gone.
Very well.
I watched her stand motionless for a moment. She was most likely disgusted by the words I had just said. And then her eyes darted back at me, which sparked a shiver.
And what about the bonehead?
Ark Star? She stood there, waiting for my answer, not wanting to repeat. Mission after mission, kill after kill, it's all for the business. But he pays me like a king for my work.
He's a monotonous crap sack. He's making you famous, but not in the good way.
And after doing a bit of thinking, she said,
He's making you infamous. There's a huge difference.
After months of work, I thought everything had been great for me. The money, all of it. I thought I could truly become what I'd always wanted to be. But Ash was right. Ark Star never wanted to make my dreams come true. He just wanted me for Sleeper's Men, or for whatever the frick he wanted. He turned me into a weapon for hire.
I know what you're thinking.
And then suddenly she came to a realization.
Leave. Now.
What?
Your comms are down. He'll be wondering where you are.
I hadn't thought of that.
That's what's wrong with you. You don't think, do you?
I shook my head as a tear developed in my eye. No, I don't.
Goodbye.
Wait. No, please, I need your help.
You're all the same, aren't you? All wanting to join CALYPSO, but not thinking about the consequences. It's Schrodinger's box for all of us.
She took a scythe, and as she started to walk off, I cried out to her, I didn't ask to join! And she had some sort of problem, because before storming off, she screamed through her teeth,
Well, you should have thought about the consequences before you answered the damn phone.
Wait, I didn't know who was gonna pick up.
Goodbye, MatJam, and good luck.
And she left me in the alleyway. Another mission failed. And then, since Asher had left, the comm set started booting up again. And Ark Star broke back into the stream.
Are you there?
I waited a bit before revealing that. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here.
Have you completed the assignment? Is A511 dead?
I took a second to evaluate the situation. I had to lie. Yes, sir, Asher. Damn it, I just slipped up. Yes, sir. A511 has been executed.
And everything went as instructed?
Yes, sir.
Good job. I'm dispatching the helicopter to collect you now.
Thank you, sir. I proceeded to slump down against the alleyway wall, mainly to calm down. I took a look at my bruised arm and my damaged armor. I was unable to take it anymore. Why? Why? I burst into tears, regretting everything I'd done. I thought I was strong, but I was a fool. I'd betrayed everything I believe in, all for the sake of blind loyalty. Wanting to fight Void, running from Shooter, picking up the phone, breaking into Underrated HQ.
How bad do you feel about that part?
Which part?
Underrated HQ. How does that compare to everything else? Guilt-wise.
Probably not as much, but that's not the point.
Noted.
But I didn't get long with my thoughts as the ladder was dropped down and I had to climb up into the helicopter. And as soon as we'd arrived there, I found myself back in Ark Star's office with a drink in my hand, waiting for him to come back in. Nice drink.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
This was the first time he'd ever apologized to me.
I'm going to give you a check. I hope that's fine.
Everything around me was isolated away as I was now in my inner thoughts. But the snap about money brought me back into reality. That embarrasses me a bit. Alright. I grabbed the check and headed towards the door. If he was gonna find out that I lied, which he probably would, I didn't want to be in the room.
See you around, lead mercenary.
Yeah. As I walked out of his office and down the hall, hoping to hitch a ride from one of the remaining technicians that was still at base, I held the check in my hand and glared at it, contemplating whether to stick to my corrupted life or escape from it. I even contemplated just walking back into his office and shooting Ark Star in the head, but the trouble that would cause. But I was tired, so I had to go home. I got back late and immediately went to bed, but I was awoken mid-sleep by the sound of music and the aura of bright blue lights. I lazily got up and walked into the living room to see Ellie watching TV. It was about 5 in the morning, so all that was really on were infomercials.
Hello, I'd love to introduce you all to Crown Coverage. Protect your kingdom with Royal Insurance.
Hey.
Hey. I'm sorry, Ellie. I shouldn't have shouted earlier.
It's fine. I know it's all been hard on you.
Thank you. But I had to know, so I cheekily asked, what were you gonna tell me earlier?
Nothing. I was gonna say...
I think I know. Well, I hope I do.
You do?
I think I do.
Well...
Ellie, I love you. We immediately turned around. What the hell? I peered out the window to see an armed Ark Star, Leanna, and Lev rapidly approaching my cabin. Ark Star had his gun raised up again, preparing to fire it.
You liar! Where's my money?
What the hell? Me and Eliza quickly took cover, our hearts pounding with fear. We knew we had to escape the manic state of Ark Star and his cohorts. Ellie, stay here.
Okay.
But I had to take them on and end this once and for all. So I slipped out the cabin and into the forest as Ark Star unloaded blasts upon me.
Leanna, find him! Bring him to me!
I won't let you down, sir.
And Leanna sprinted into the forest after me as Ark Star and Lev followed her from behind.
You did not take care of A511! You liar!
I saw Ark Star and Lev split off into different directions to try and corner me somewhere else in the dense forest, as Ark Star kept shouting at me.
Any sleeper's man that betrays me ends up 6 feet under, which is what you should have done to A511.
I had to stay silent as Lyanna was trailing around the tree I was hiding behind. But with every ounce of terror, I pounced upon Lyanna. She had a similar fighting style to Ursa. But this time I didn't have the age of Tudor. But I had a blaster. So I shot her, almost point blank. And she died, almost instantly. But the shot gave me away.
Lev! He's over here!
On it.
But since my waste of them during my fight with A511 Asher, I was out of ammo, so I accidentally allowed them to confront me. He dropped his blaster and called over Lev, pointing to a stick.
Lev, pass me that stick. Lev, pass me that stick, now!
Here.
He grabbed the stick as I saw Lev draw his blaster, just in case it was for him, I assumed.
What are we gonna do with that?
I wonder.
He then darted his eyes at me, and within seconds, he pounced on me, pressing down the stick over my esophagus, choking me. My sword was back in my cabin and my gun was useless. My hands were too busy trying to pull the stick off of me, not bothering to try and fight back.
I'll leave the stupid girl alone. But you are a pure disappointment-seeking serotonin in the most gritty places. You're in an overwrought, manic state, and you can't handle a single thing without defiance. You can't admit your feelings to Eliza. You can't let go of people that are oppressing you. And you don't tell anyone about it because you're too scared of judgment. You are.
And it all stopped. A wet liquid appeared on my face and Ark Star slumped down. I quickly pushed him off of me to see Lev. Lev had just shot him. I quickly got up and took a few steps back, and Lev followed suit.
Did Ash remember me?
Yeah. Lev smiled. I could sense something was there.
Good luck.
Wait. Lev jetted off as the gravitas of the situation sunk in. We had just killed Ark Star. Well, at least we think we did. And that was going to cause some trouble. A lot of trouble. So I had to escape. Oh God. I glared at the shot at his side and the extending pool below him. The man who had tortured me for all this time. Gone. Just like that. I had to leave as soon as possible. I was going to bring Ellie with me, but she looked too peaceful. I'd ruined her life too much, and I had to go, but before I did, I strode over to her and she was half asleep. I sat down next to her.
Hey.
Hi.
Is it done?
It's done. I'm gonna go and, clear some stuff up now and... But I love you.
I love you too.
I'll talk about it more when I'm back, okay?
Okay. See you soon.
But I had to go, and I knew I couldn't come back. So I pulled up to the scratch arena and I visited the spot where Sebastian was killed. I'm sorry for what I've done and for the consequences that'll follow. And for practically killing you. I'm so goddamn sorry. And contemplated about what I was gonna do. I was gonna end it all then and there, but without me in the picture, things could go even worse. With Ark Star gone, there were gonna be people coming after me, and I couldn't let that affect the ones I loved, so... I had to turn myself in. To you. My name is MatJam02. I am a freelance mercenary. I have killed 37 people in the past 7 months. And I need the scratch team to come to the scratch arena.
And that's that?
And that's that.
Neat. CALYPSO doesn't seem that massive, to be honest. You only mentioned 5 or 6 people. They probably won't come after you.
Believe what you want to believe.
I'll be back in, I don't know, a little bit.
Hey, what were those comments about? Underrated HQ and my guilt for that. If I could do a plane again. So what were they?
Oh, those were part of the job interview.
What job interview?
Oh, come on. I thought you were smarter than this.
What?
I didn't really care about a lot of that, and I wasn't even listening to half of what you were rambling on about. This whole ordeal was to see if you fit. And you will.
What?
I'll offer you a payment, obviously. And a place to hide where nobody will find you.
What do you want me to do?
A couple of kidnappings, bit of espionage, and 1 or 2 planes.
But you'll hide me, right? In a safe place. Till this all blows over.
I give you my word.
Then regretfully, from one master to another, I'm in.
Good. Now, follow me.
I bring the match, you bring the gasoline. It turns me on when you set me on fire and turn my bloodstream. You are my nicotine. I need a fix, can we get much higher? I am unconscious, you are my DMT. You wear a crown that's made out of barbed wire. I am a lit fuse, you are my kerosene. I need a fix, will you? Destroy. Settle a vendetta. I am a lost cause singing to the choir. I need a fix, can we get much higher? I need a sweet